Hey guys, Natalie Fleming here. Today we are going to tack on to more of the training side of being an athlete. Okay, so this is going to be kind of a series of lifting weights. So today we're going to talk about deadlifting, and then as we go, we'll add each exercise later on. Okay, so deadlifts, I feel like, are one of the most important, most beneficial lifts that we can do as an athlete. They target a lot of the big major muscles in the body, and then also just get you to feel how to be tight, be strong in your body. So then also you have to always think when you're deadlifting, be in a good position. So then it also makes you work on having to control your body in a way that is good for your body. Okay. So when we are deadlifting, so like I said, form is very, very important with deadlifting. So to start, okay, whenever I deadlift and whenever I train my athletes to deadlift, I always tell them to take their shoes off, okay? Okay, so now once you have your shoes off, okay, so one, we want to take our shoes off. So now we're going to be able to feel better grounding like we hear about, but also engaging our feet, okay? So if we get set up here, so when we set up, we want to think the bar almost touching our shins. Feet, so I always say with your feet, how wide apart kind of depends on the athlete. So if you feel stronger being just a little bit wider, then so be it. If you feel like a stronger position being about shoulder width, then set up there, okay? So then once you get where your feet want to be, now we want to think spread our toes real wide, okay? Once we get our toes spread, now from here, we're going to feel pushing through our big toe, our little toe, and our heel. So we want to think our foot as being a tripod pushing through the ground, okay? So the whole lift starts with our feet, okay? That's how we are going to engage all of our muscles in our lower body, and that's how we are going to get set, okay? So I've spread my toes, okay? Now I'm pressing through the ground. You see as I do that, it gets my legs kind of where they need to be. And then from here, very, very, very important. I preach this to the kids like no other. You want to think your shoulders squeezed back and down, okay? So that's locking our shoulder blades, locking our lats into place. Okay, then from there, next, very, very important, we want to think pressure in our belly. So when we say that, we want to think stick your belly out really big. So when you think of your core, think of your whole midsection, okay? So front and back, okay? Almost being a balloon. So whenever we have this whole midsection here, when we stick our belly out really big, that expands our whole midsection. So now we're thinking that balloon, and when you stick that pressure out, you expand through the balloon, okay? So now you see how that stabilizes all of the walls of the balloon, okay? So now that is what we are doing with our midsection. So that pressure in our belly is now stabilizing our back, okay? That's similar to when you see like the big time power lifter, weightlifters wearing the belt, okay? They're feeling that big pressure pressing through that belt, okay? So again, we're set with our feet. We got that pressure in our belly. We're squeezing our lats back and down. Now from here, we want to think hinge our hips back. So a deadlift is a hinging motion. So we think hinge our hips back while keeping our shoulders squeezed nice and tight. Then from here, we'll just grab the bar right outside of our feet, still staying nice and tight. And we want to think keep our chin tucked. So think our spine starts at the base of our skull. So here, so we want to think keep our spine nice and neutral all the way up here, all the way down to our tailbone. Okay, so if we're looking up at the sky like this, that gets our spine in a funky position. Okay, so think keep that chin nice and tucked as we are getting set. Okay, so we are here, set, and then from here, you want to think pull all in one motion. So it's here, and then we just think one smooth motion straight up. Then from here, I say all the time, think you got to stay just as tight on the way back down, squeezing those shoulder blades, squeezing your lats to the ground, touch the ground, and then you'll be right back up again depending on how many reps you are doing. Okay, so then another main point, so as you are lifting this bar, okay, so we are here, we're nice and set like we talked about, that pressure in your belly. So once you start to pull the bar off the ground, think this is where you want to think about squeezing your glutes, pulling your hips forward to lift that bar up. Okay, so we don't want to think pull with our chest. You want to think deadlifting is a glute hamstring exercise. So from here, you're pulling your hips forward to get yourself to stand up tall. Okay, so we're not pulling with our chest. We're not pulling with our upper body. We're pulling with our hips. Okay, so again, we'll be here, set up nice and tight, pressure in the belly, driving straight up. Okay, Then, like I said before, we're controlling it down. So then one other thing that I see a lot, especially with young females, okay? Females were built just a little bit differently. Our hips want to turn inward. So as we are deadlifting, we want to feel our knees not going inward. So you see here, my knees are way in. So that, again, comes from the feet, okay? Pushing your feet into the ground. And think here, squeeze your booty, okay? Once you squeeze here, that naturally kind of gets your knees locked in into a good position, okay? So you see here, I can keep my knees outward. As soon as I lose that engagement in my muscles, my knees naturally just want to go in, okay? So any lift we do, we want to focus on what muscle are we actually trying to engage, okay? And then from there, make yourself engage that muscle, okay? So I tell the kids all the time, we're not just going through the motion, okay? Think you're actually trying to get stronger and think what muscle group, what muscle are we working on? That's the muscle that you need to really, really think squeeze and think use that muscle to do the lift, okay? So here we have it. That is deadlift. This is, like I said, part of a series where we're going to talk about a lot of the main lifts that will get you stronger, that will help you be the best athlete you can possibly be. Okay, keep a lookout for the rest, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave me any comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks, guys.